Waheguru Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ki Fateh. My name is Gurumustuk Singh. As many of you may know, I was with Yogi Bhajan and the 3HO group for 30-some years. Now today, I want to read my response to Gurumustuk Singh's letter that he posted on SikhNet a few days ago. Gurumustuk Singh has brought up some questions about why Sikhs and former Yogi Bhajan followers are criticizing 3HO, SikhNet, and Yogi Bhajan's practices. Now, as just an introduction, I'll say that I have known Gurumustuk Singh for almost the entire time that I've been in 3HO. I used to live with Gurumustuk Singh and his family in Los Angeles. So I'm very familiar with Gurumustuk Singh and his family, and much of the history that has taken place within his family and also in 3HO. All right, so we'll get to the letter now. And while I'm reading the letter, you can watch some of the slides and pictures I've accumulated over the years, which show some of the un-Sikh-like activities that the Yogi Bhajan people are engaged in and how Sikhs would like them to change. Waheguru Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ki Fateh. Dear Gurumustuk Singh Ji, in reading your recent article, you make some points that need to be answered. You say, detractors will try to tell me how yoga is against Sikhi without even understanding what I practice and the practical benefits of it to a householder. There's nothing to understand. This is my response. There's nothing to understand. Tantric yoga is against Sikhi, always was and always will be. Read the Sikh Rehat Maryada, the Rehat Namas of Bhai Daya Singh and Bhai Nan Lai, that a Khalsa should not practice any tantric yoga asanas, yantras, mantras, and tantras. Sikhs may hold differing opinions on physical yoga asanas, such as some of the kundalini yoga that you practice. Speaking to Gurumustuk. Some believe it is totally against Sikhi. Others believe it is fine as long as it is only regarded as an exercise for fitness. But they all agree on this. Tantric yoga asanas and the tantras and mantras of Yogi Bhajan are not a part of Sikhi. Dr. Chalochan Singh outlined this quite clearly in a book after spending months with Yogi Bhajan. I'm sure, Gurumustuk, by now you've at least heard of this book, Sikhism and Tantric Yoga, which I encourage you to read, if for no other reason to try and understand how most of the Sikh world views Yogi Bhajan, 3HO, and the un-Sikh-like practices Yogi Bhajan taught you, and you so stubbornly are attached to still. Here's a link where you can download the book for free, and I put this link at the description of this video below to the book. Then you say, Gurumustuk, then there are some people who have so much anger or hate inside themselves that they have made it their mission to slander, spread false and misleading information, making every attempt to put down Siddhi Singh Sahib, Bhai Sahib, Harbhajan Singh Khalsa, and Sikhs from Western origin in a supposed attempt to save others from us, as if they know the right way. My response to that is, well, there's a great deal of judgment on your part, Gurumustuk. Does it not occur to you that rather than hate, there are a lot of people who feel extremely concerned about the way that Yogi Bhajan's Sikh Dharma and 3HO are practicing a form of Sikhi that is not congruent with the Sikh Rehat Maryada and is moving further away on a daily basis? Does it ever occur to you that these individuals feel the need to point this out? Can you not see that this attempt to set the record straight is not motivated by hate, but by a genuine concern for the future of Sikhi. I see this concern on Sikh discussion groups from all around the world. Many Sikhs are genuinely worried about the direction that 3HO and Sikh Dharma are taking, as you can read on this forum. And I put a link to one of the forums that I visit quite often that talk about these issues. Furthermore, I go on to say here, false and misleading information can easily be defeated with facts. I have yet to see you, SikhNet, or other Sikh Dharma members meet any of this so-called false and misleading information with facts. Your usual response is to either ignore the info, delete it from the forum, if you have the power to do so, or to indulge in what is called an ad hominem attack, to attack the character of the messenger. This is what you are doing in your article when you say, and I quote Gurumustuk Singh here, there are some people who have so much anger or hate inside themselves. How do you know they are motivated by hate? I ask here. How do you know that they are not genuinely concerned? Has SikhNet never responded to legitimate concerns by Sikhs that Yogi Bhajan was given Hindu last rites and many 3HO members participated in Rishikesh, as Anjukar at SikhNNN.com so clearly revealed in her article published almost a year ago? Now, because SikhNet believes the story is false, or that you think Anjukar is engaging in a hate campaign? Now, about knowing the right way, I ask Gurumustuk here. As you know, Sikhi is a path of discipline, and there are rules. Of course, Sikhs are very independent people, and over the centuries, many different interpretations of the rules set by Guru Sahib sprang up. Thus, in the early part of the 20th century, a document was produced with the approval of the SGBC and the Panth called the Sikh Rehat Maryada. It codified all the different rules and customs of Sikhi into a form that was approved by the SGPC and the Panth. Many respected Sikh saints and scholars contributed to its creation. It is readily available in Punjabi and in English. It may even be posted on SikhNet. And I put a link to some of the discussion we've had about some of the violations that the 3HO people and Yogi Bhajan committed against the Sikh Rehat Maryada. I'll put a link here in the description. And I go on to say, it's really very simple. Either you follow SRM or you don't. For example, the Sikh Rehat Maryada specifically prohibits the veneration of any graves or monuments erected to honor the memory of a deceased person. Yet, we have seen the followers of Yogi Bhajan bowing to his memorial in Espanola, as was done in the elaborate 4-day celebration 3HO and Sikh Dharma hosted at Yogi Bhajan's ranch in October of this year. And again, I put a YouTube video which shows some of these bowing and prostrations there at Yogi Bhajan's death place that happened at this 10th anniversary there, where the Jethedar of the Akal Takht visited. Sikh Rehat Maryada also prohibits the performance of home, the Hindu ritual lighting of ritual fire and pouring intermittently clarified butter, food grains, etc. into it for propitiating gods for the fulfillment of a purpose. There is ample evidence on the internet of Yogi Bhajan's longtime students who call themselves Sikhs and use Singh, Kar, and Khalsa in their names, not only participating in this ritual, but organizing and publicizing it. This is simply not allowed by the Sikh Rehat Maryada. To do these kind of things flaunts the very intent of the Sikh Rehat Maryada and offends the sensibilities of devout Sikhs. When this is brought to your attention by concerned individuals, your response, that of SikhNet also, is to say that this is an interfaith event. No, it is not. It is a Hindu worship of their fire god. You say, Gurumustuk, speaking to Gurumustuk, Gurumustuk says, they spread false info, saying we regard Yogi Bhajan as our guru. Well, and this is my response, well, apart from the fact that Yogi Bhajan was heard to refer to himself as the guru on more than one occasion, Let us take as a frame of reference a report recently published from the recent Khalsa Council meetings by Gurumustuk Singh Khalsa, Secretary General, Sikh Dharma International, Khalsa Council, dated November 5th, 2014. And I will add that I did hear Yogi Bhajan say that he was the Guru in a lecture. So I know that he said it many times, and he said it to other people that I've talked to as well. Now, the Khalsa Council is supposed to be a representative body whose function is to guide the Bhajanists. We call them Bhajanists because that's what they are. They worship Bhajan, and we call them Bhajanists. The Bhajanist Panth. I say that because there is never anyone on this council who is not a Bhajanist, which makes the name Khalsa Council presumptuous, to say the least. Nevertheless, let us examine the report by way of noting the number of times certain words were used. And this is in this Khalsa Council letter that was sent out by Gurumustuk Singh just recently here. Now here are the numbers of what was mentioned in that letter. The words Siri Singh Sahib or Yogi Bhajan were mentioned 31 times in this letter. Guru Ram Das Ji was mentioned 6 times. All other Guru Sahiban, including SGGS, 0. Khalsa Council was mentioned 22 times. Khalsa, other than the Khalsa Council, was mentioned 0 times. Panth is mentioned once. Siri Singh Sahib's teachings were mentioned 6 times. Yoga was mentioned 6 times. The word Gurbani was mentioned 0 times. The word Simran was mentioned 0 times. And the word Seva was mentioned 0 times. So, the so-called Khalsa Council report does not actually mention the Khalsa. It does not mention Guru Nanak Sahib Ji, nor any of the other Guru Sahibans, save Guru Ram Das Ji. It does not mention Siddhi Guru Granth, yet it manages to mention Yogi Bhajan 31 times. Yoga and Yogi Bhajan's teachings each have 6 mentions, but Gurbani, Simran, and Seva have none. The report closes by saying, in closing the meetings, we did the Tritakam meditation together, and members shared how the Siri Singh Sahib touched our lives. That's Yogi Bhajan, touched their lives. The Tritakam meditation is the one where they meditate by staring at Yogi Bhajan's picture. Now here, right here, Yogi Bhajan said to stare at that picture that was just in that last frame. He said to meditate on that picture, and the Khalsa Council, SikhNet and 3HO People's Khalsa Council did this meditation in closing of their Khalsa Council meetings, where they were staring at Yogi Bhajan's tantric picture. So instead of finishing the meeting with an Ardas and then Hukamnama of Guru Sahib, they finished with a meditation of Yogi Bhajan's picture. He may not be a guru to you in name, but your actions show that you regard him as such. The true Khalsa of Guru Gobind Singh Ji would never, ever, ever engage in such un-Sikh-like practices. You say, Gurumustuk, when I was a teenager and finding my way, I went through a phase of experimentation with drugs, alcohol, smoking, partying, etc. If my family, friends, and community cast me out during this time, then I would be a very different person than I am today. No one wants to cast you out, Gurumustuk. Neither you nor your fellow 3HO and Sikh Dharma companions. I don't understand what your point is here. Are you suggesting that you and the other Yogi Bhajan students are experimenting with your own version of Sikhi, and we should just tolerate you until you have run up your course? Well, the experiment in Sikhi has been going on for 45 years, and it's time to get real, Gurumustuk. There are so many un-Sikh-like practices that in which you all participate that we regular Sikhs would be derelict in our duty if we did not at least attempt to guide you to live by true Sikh values, much as your family must have tried to show you that your adolescent ways were ultimately destructive. If you really want to pursue this metaphor of Yogi Bhajan's students being like adolescents, misbehaving, then I would remind you that the teenagers are notoriously unreceptive to advice, no matter how well-meaning. Perhaps that is why SikhNet deletes any posts that are in any way critical of Yogi Bhajan, 3HO, or Sikh Dharma. Gurumustuk Singh. We regular Sikhs simply want to change your ways to align with Sikh Rehat and drop these Yogi Bhajan-inspired un-Sikh-like practices. Such things as tantric yoga, astrology, the crazy mantras that Yogi Bhajan made up, Guru Yoga, this is the staring at Yogi Bhajan's photo, Hindu pujas, wearing gemstones for power and energy, etc., etc., etc. I could go on and on about all of the un-Sikh-like practices you do. The list can go on for a long time, but all these things have no place in Sikhi, Gurumustuk. We have no illusions this will be easy, nor will it happen overnight, nor perhaps anytime soon. But we are not going to go away, Gurumustuk. We too have dedicated our lives to Sikhi, and it wounds us deeply to see our beautiful path being warped and twisted by the likes of 3HO. We will be watching, and we will be reminding you of how our beloved Guru Sahib told us to live our lives. How you react to this is, of course, your choice, Gurumustuk. I hope all Sikhs will write Gurumustuk Singh and express what I'm trying to convey here. As I said, I was in 3HO for 30-some years. And when I discovered about what true Sikhi was about, it really quite frankly angered me how Yogi Bhajan had deceived us. And now, Gurumustuk and the 3HO people are continuing this deception. We need to reach out to SikhNet, to the 3HO people, and let them know that we are not going to lay down as Sikhs and allow this to continue. We will continue to speak up. We will continue to write posts to protest against what the Yogi Bhajan people are doing. I hope you'll write Gurumustuk. I hope you'll watch some more of my videos, understanding more about the specifics of what I'm talking about. These pictures I've been showing here are the real thing. I have not doctored them in any way. Only put the truth out there about what the Yogi Bhajan people do. Please visit my website and please read up about all of these un-Sikh-like practices the Yogi Bhajan people are doing and how we can change their view of Sikhi and bring them into the Sikh Khalsa Panth. Thank you for your time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.